Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on the planet. Thank you so much for joining the Abundance Blueprint podcast with Naomi Saadiq. From uncertainty to prosperity. All right. This is our Soulful Reflections premiere. The name of this episode today is Your Broken Money Story. It ends today. The release date is Sunday, July 21st, 2025. And so welcome in, beloved. Welcome to the first ever Sunday premiere of Soulful Reflections here on the Abundance Blueprint podcast. This isn't just another episode. It's where we slow down, reset, and get real about building businesses, wealth, and lives that actually last without burning ourselves out or staying stuck in the same old cycles. If you're here today, I already know two things for sure. And as the old folks say, one thing for certain, two things for sure. The one thing that I know is that you want more for your business, your family, and or yourself. And two, you are ready to stop chasing and start building something that feels solid, steady, and scalable. Today, we're breaking one of the biggest cycles I see holding women and entrepreneurs back, the broken money story. So let's talk a little bit about the lie that we believe, right? So many of us were taught this little lie. The harder you push, the more you sacrifice, the more you'll finally earn your right to rest and feel secure. We've been told exhaustion equals achievement. Stress proves you're serious. And if you're not grinding 24/7, you're falling behind. But here's the truth. That formula doesn't work anymore, especially for those of us juggling businesses, families, and let's be honest, health challenges or invisible conditions that no one sees. So we're showing up for everyone, doing everything, right? But at what cost? And here's the thing. This isn't weakness. It's wisdom to say, I can't keep doing it this way. I need a new blueprint. Now, you all know what I love to do. I know that deep breathing resets your body and deep breathing lowers your blood pressure by up to 10 points on each side. So don't think that I'm weird when I ask y'all to breathe, okay? So we're going to do it 3 seconds in, hold it for 4, out for 6 or 4, 6, 4, 6. Maybe we'll do 6, 4, 6. So inhale and hold it. And exhale. You do not have to earn that pause. You didn't have to do anything to earn that pause. You got it on your own. That was free. All right. So here's the question that I want to talk to you about. I want to have you sit with this for a second. This is going to be a shift for us. Okay. What if I don't need to wait for everything to line up before I can feel secure and capable right now? Not when the bank loan gets approved. Not when the revenue has 6 figures, not when all the fires are put out. Right now, when we start seeing money and time differently, with practical blueprint principles like the Rule of 72, which shows us how to double our money by letting it work for us. And understanding that what we consistently focus on grows. Everything shifts. Because here's what I know. Most of us don't miss out because we're lazy or unworthy. We miss out because no one ever taught us how to get structured, visible, and scalable. Let me show you what I mean with a few stories. I know that these are real, but I've changed the names so you can see them in for yourself without judgment, okay? So I want to talk to you about the caterer who thought QuickBooks was a rapper. Sorry. Okay, so I met Maria, a caterer. Her food, stellar, legendary. She was booked every weekend. Her cash was flowing. But when a corporate client wanted to hire her for a $20,000 event, they asked her for a certificate of insurance and financial records. Maria froze. Her system was Venmo and sticky notes. She laughed and said, "Naomi, I thought QuickBooks was a rapper." Not a chance. Okay, I'm kidding. It's funny now, but here's the truth. She almost lost that deal, not because she couldn't cook, because her business was not structured to handle big opportunities. We stepped in, we helped her set up her paperwork, and now Maria can land contracts without panic. So ask yourself, if a $20,000 contract came your way today, would your business be ready? The trucker who was giving away free money. Then there was Jim, a trucker with his own rig, running 12-hour shifts. He's grinding hard running that tractor trailer, but leaving thousands of dollars on the table every year. Why? Because he didn't know about fuel tax credits, grants, or write-offs. And when I asked why, he said, Naomi, I'm just trying to keep the wheels turning. Paperwork isn't my thing. But here's the thing. That paperwork, that's the difference between grinding forever and finally working smarter. This is why structure leads to freedom, not more work. And then the last story that I kind of want to talk to you about is the pastor with a vision and no paper trail. And so there's Pastor Angela, leading a small congregation with a big heart, dreaming of an after-school program, a food pantry, an outreach center. But she's stuck scraping together $500 a month because she hasn't filed for nonprofit status or created a grant strategy. She told me, Naomi, I thought grants were only for mega churches. No, beloved, they're for you too. The only difference between those who get funded and those who don't is knowledge and guidance. That's it. And so that's what we're here to do, right? So that's my 9 to 5, is having those consulting conversations. I'd like to switch that out a little bit and be a little bit less stuffy and to get out there in the ethers and the atmospheres where my peeps are, right? And so as a kind of lead up to that, or a great segue to that, is my new co-host, all right? I'm excited to introduce JD. You might know him as Jeffrey D, right? Jeffrey D Productions, I'm sorry. He is not just the voice that you're going to hear behind the mic. He's editing, producing, and offering video and media services for anyone who needs help outside of the podcast. All right. So between JD's media experience and what we're building here with SGB2B, with some of our consultants and partners, you're not just getting talk, you're getting real solutions to get set up, seen, and scaling. The abundance blueprint principle. So before we close, here's a takeaway that I want you to carry into this week. The rule of 72 is a simple formula. Divide 72 by your growth rate and see how long it takes your money to double. But remember, money grows faster when your business is set up properly, structured properly, right? So that when you're not losing contracts or grants because of missing paperwork or strategy, you understand SEO optimizations and KPIs and why those data analytics are important for visibility purposes for scaling your business. And that's just the nerdy side of what we do. But those are things that these are things that I understand as a consultant. And here at SGB2B, this is what we do. And we just kind of structure these podcast conversations to make it less, hectic for your workday and your weekday. All right. So our call to action. Before we close, I want to leave you here knowing this. You do not have to figure all of this out on your own. A lot of the questions I asked you today, the situations that I posed to you today about whether or not your business is set up to handle $20,000, $50,000 contracts, $100,000 contracts, $500,000 contracts, whether or not you're missing benefits, you don't have the right coverage in place for the employees that you need to help you run your business, right? Or how to protect yourself while you grow. In the event you sprain your ankle, anything can happen to you, right? You can get a bee sting and be off for 6 weeks. It happens, right? What happens to you as you're growing your business? If something happens to you, then what happens to you and or your business? So these are questions that can be answered in one phone call to someone that I trust completely. And that's David Alexander at RRJ Consulting LLC. This man has a gift for taking the frustration out of the conversation surrounding insurance, right? And so whether it's health, life, property or casualty, or surety bonds, he knows how to guide you and your family through the messy, complicated, frustrating parts so that you can focus on actually living and building. I'd like you to contact him directly at area code 520-598-9091 and leave him a message or a text. And then if you can't reach him there, send him a voicemail over at area code 734-252-9589. Tell him that you heard this on the Abundance Blueprint podcast and mention the code abundance so he can know that we sent you. We trust David because we've seen his work. He doesn't just sell policies. He solves problems and builds peace of mind. And that's priceless when you're trying to build a life and a business that won't break you. And of course, if you're ready to go deeper with us, I want you to grab my memoir. I found out I had breast cancer on my lunch break, available right now on Amazon Kindle through Charlotta Denise Germain's site. Okay. I want you to shop our merch. Shopping at our merch store on Shopify at the Abundance Boutique. Every purchase supports Sisters Feeding Sisters. That's a campaign that we're doing to put hot meals in the hands of those that have been affected with neuropathy and post-cancer challenges. Okay, so book your free 15-minute discovery call with me today. Get featured on the podcast, or let us help you get your business structured and seen. You can support us by visiting us at coffee.com/Naomi Saadiq, or our Patreon, or our PayPal. And if you're looking for branding, capability statements, thumbnails, or government contracting help, we're offering a la carte services right now while our full bundles are being finalized. This is more than a podcast. It's a blueprint, a bridge, and a community for women, entrepreneurs, and anyone ready to grow. We're right inside our Women Wealth campaign, so you hear me talking a lot about our women, but men, I'm not neglecting you, I promise, okay? I am Naomi Saadiq, and I'll see you next Sunday for Soulful Reflections, where we reset, reflect, and rise together. And don't forget, please call David. Stop being frustrated. Let's get your business and your benefits in order today. Have a great one. I'll see you next time. I love you.